7:36, good morning to you. This is Breakfast with Stephen and Ellie.
And it's time for a look through the papers for you now. And the Express has captured Rishi Sunak and his wife touching down in Hiroshima yesterday ahead of the G7 summit. It's got a lovely Union Jack umbrella that Stephen really likes.
I really like I do really like it. It's nice to be proud.
Yeah.
It's Saturday night taken away, according to The Sun, as Ant and Dec step down. Well, not yet. The Saturday night takeaway, they're having a break, but not until 2025.
Yeah.
So we've got another year.
Still got a while to go, haven't we? In the Mail, some Hollywood glamour from the Cannes Film Festival. Phoebe Waller-Bridge has been posing in a black gown. Stephen would say it's just a black dress, but it's a fishtail.
It's a fishtail.
Strappy black silk number with black gloves, and she looks wonderful.
Oh, it's dull. She's in the new Indiana Jones, isn't she?
Yeah, and our very own Stephanie Tetchy is in Cannes because she just lives the best life, doesn't she?
She does.
That one. And we're going to be catching up with her about the new Indiana Jones film and more.
Yes. The Princess of Wales has stepped out to visit a children's mental health charity in an emerald green dress. That's pictured in the Mirror this morning.
And that we can agree, she does look wonderful, doesn't she?
When does she not?
Exactly.
She must wake up looking fabulous.
I'm sure she does, yes.
And very rich as well.
Yes.
The royals are rich. We've asked you about what you would do if you were a millionaire. We'll run through those in a little bit after we've talked through the papers with our resident millionaires, Liz Kershaw and David Mellor. Good morning to you. Thanks, David, for jumping in. Let's start with you. Should we looking at the Times? And they've got a minute-by-minute description of the car chase in New York for Harry.
Yes, relentless pursuit was what Harry, or someone on Harry's behalf, said. It doesn't look that way from the Times reconstruction. Look, I mean, I'm obviously on both sides of the fence because I had my time when I was of interest to
hold on a minute,
We're
David.
being told your microphone isn't on.
Here we go. Where is it?
At least you can tell it's live.
It's there. It's because it's stuffed in your trousers and we've lost the aerial. There we go.
I don't know about things stuffed in my trousers.
There we go. Is that any better? Can you hear him now? Hello, say something, David.
Hi.
Oh, we've got you now. Let me shove it behind you like that.
It's a desperate attempt to silence me, but I won't.
It is. No, you keep going.
You carry on, David.
There I was. Now look.
You never thought that, did you, Stephen Dixon? You'd be adjusting the clothing of an undecent.
No, don't know.
Age is nice to know it still happens. But getting back to serious matters, because I'm an essentially very serious person. This Sussex thing, any of us who've been of interest to the tabloids know only too well how relentless they can be. And it's a form of bullying, you know. I mean, when I had my period of interest to the paparazzi, they would come and hose you down. They weren't ever going to use the photo.
All right, apologies, David. As much as I would not want to stop you doing that little segment, we have got a mic issue with both of you two, actually.
Oh.
So it's the viewers. Maybe China or Russia shutting you down. You can't talk, Liz. We can't hear you.
It's that AI box.
It's the AI.
We're going to look into that.
We're going to try and sort that out for you. In the meantime, let's have a look at this rich list business, right? Because if you were a millionaire, because we look at Sunday Times rich list, and lots of people very, very, very rich. Kev says, I can't help thinking that money always seems to bring out the worst in people. Well, I think that can be very true, actually.
Doesn't it say money is the root of all evil?
Yeah, and I think it tends to be, I hate to say it, but it's like when, I'm sure lots of lovely people win the lottery, but I think if you're not used to a lot of money and suddenly you're a multi-millionaire, it can send you a little bit bonkers.
It can, yeah.
Send me bonkers.
Well, we were asking if you were on the Sunday Times rich list, 51 million like Harry Kane. What would you spend it on? Lots of you getting in touch. Matisse has been in touch saying, if I had that kind of money, I'd be buying land to rewild Britain.
You see,
it's a bit different, isn't it?
That's all very worthy. John, more with John. I would buy an island and get away from this mad world of humans. I can see the appeal of that.
Julian says he won't be staying in broken Britain with its miserable weather.
Andy would buy himself a new house, a new car, pay off the kids' mortgages, and then reinvest the rest. I love going to work, and although I'm looking forward to retirement in 2029, so not long to go. Probably still keep some for holidays and things as well. Still keep some, about 51 million.
I think you'll be all right for a few holidays out of that. And Keith says, if I had 51 million, I would share it among all my children and grandchildren, plus I'd have a nice Chinese takeaway.
Yes.
I think it could probably stretch that far.
I think so. Now, hopefully we've had a battery change and everyone's up and running. David Mellor.
Okay, so we were talking about the Sussexes.
Yes, we were.
And I was saying that any of us who've have been the subject of interest to the paparazzi, it's a horrible experience. And a lot of the time they hose you down without intending ever to use the photos. What on earth are they doing, for instance, wanting to see where they had dinner? Who really cares about where they have dinner? But that having been said, there is an extraordinary willingness from this on the part of the Sussexes to actually exaggerate, relentless pursuit over 2 hours. I mean, I've been to Manhattan quite a lot. I think if you can get above 5 miles an hour, you're doing brilliantly. And I think that if the Sussexes want privacy, they don't have to go out to this, frankly, rather spurious awards ceremony, instead of which they want it all ways and both ways. And essentially, I think there's an element of exaggeration because they know accusing the paparazzi of doing this, that, and the other will make a headlines, and there they are. It's a headline.
Yes, near catastrophic is what
come on,
Yeah, no.
I mean, I know about catastrophes of having been in politics. This isn't a catastrophe.
No. Maybe unpleasant, but yeah, there's a big difference between the two. Liz, rocketing property prices, are they coming to an end?
So this article's claiming, can I just quickly say, I had a really unique experience in Manhattan. There was Storm Sandy in 2012, and everybody was told to evacuate, and me and my friend didn't. We just bunkered down in a 34th floor apartment, and we went out in the car, call it irresponsible, but it was like the film set, The Day After Tomorrow or whatever, and we could see right down 10th Avenue and beyond, and we drove up and down the deserted.
Oh, you didn't get arrested, I don't think.
It was amazing. Never will that happen to me again. Anyway, so this article is claiming the era of massive house price rises is coming to an end because, and this ties in with a friend, the Pimlico plumber, and his chat about working from home, because people are working from home and they can now choose to live anywhere, and it takes the pressure off previous property hotspots. Well, first of all, I don't believe that, because it's about supply and demand. And if it's true that there are, possibly 1 million more people in Britain than 12 months ago when the figures are confirmed, everybody needs a roof over their heads, and I don't see any evidence of either rents or house prices coming down. But the thing why I picked this is really interesting. A poll published yesterday suggests that Britain is facing a generational divide over the green belt. The majority of young people favour relaxing restrictions to allow more development on green belt, so that idea is supported by a higher percentage than baby boomers. I find that astounding. I thought it was the kids of today that were saying, save the planet, let's rewild, as somebody just said.
They'd live to regret it if they got rid of the green belt.
Do you think, I'm not being patronising, but I think if I said to my son in his 20s, shall we protect the green belt, he wouldn't have a clue what I was talking about. Once it's built on, it's gone, isn't it?
That is,
well,
it's gone for
this
good.
leads on very nicely to our next story in the Telegraph, David, which is levels of eco-anxiety. Apparently it's rising in the young.
Yes.
Unless you want a house.
This is Fraser Nelson with his centre-page comment. I mean, essentially what his point is that eco-anxiety has taken off into areas that can no longer be justified by any rational analysis of what's happening. And the suggestion, what he's saying, is that while levels of eco-anxiety are rising among the young, the planet's future is brighter than many think. I always suspect there's an element of exaggeration in all of this, but it's very hard, of course, to know. But one of the things that I think there needs to be is a much more rational approach to this. I think that as it has become a major political issue, so it has become extremely difficult to actually inject an element of rationality, because
it's emotive, isn't it? And I have to say,
yes.
Greta Thunberg, I'm sure she makes some excellent points at times, but all this "you've destroyed my future, you're killing us all" sort of line is extremely emotive and doesn't seem to help, I don't think.
No, and I mean, one of the things that Fraser Nelson says, amongst many interesting things, because as I've said before, I think that with newspapers, often the news is out of date, but what isn't out of date is the comment, and the comment can be very interesting. He says, getting rich requires more people, so humans remain more of a solution than a problem. This is why climate-related deaths have fallen by about 80% over the course of the past century. Wealthier countries can better prepare for natural disasters. So it's an interesting, thought-provoking point.
In the Telegraph, Liz, we need to not say obesity anymore, apparently. What do we say instead?
Well, this is my pet subject, because
you've lost 10 stone or something, haven't you?
Not 10.
This week.
Yeah. I lost 3 stone. I started 5 years ago and I've stuck to it and I've kept it off. So I'm not saying, do anything I haven't tried myself. I just think it was reported this week how many billions the NHS is spending on controlling or curing conditions, medical conditions that have been diagnosed. That's not, apart from all the ones that haven't been diagnosed, that are directly to do with carrying around too much fat. And that includes, of course, the big one, type 2 diabetes. Half the people I know are having hip and knee replacements. They're many stone overweight in some cases. They're putting strain on the joints. So what my point is, this article is saying stop calling people obese because that's not helpful and it's upsetting them. They should be treated as though they've got a disease and they should be given medical help. Well, they are to fight the problems that are resulting from it. And I don't think the state, if you're disfiguring yourself and causing yourself health issues by eating too much, all right, I'll ask the question instead: should the state be mopping up the mess, paying for it? Like if you didn't look after your car properly, and you break down, does the government Department of Transport send out somebody to get you on the road again? No, it's personal responsibility, and I just refuse. I've eaten more than I needed, and I got fat. So I'm not saying, hey, I'm a saint, but I'm just saying when I realised what I'd done. Because you've got to be honest with yourself. You sort of.
Yeah, but it's about honesty, isn't it?
Yeah. Once you confront it and you're honest about it, then it's your decision. Do I do something about it? It's not easy. It takes willpower. It takes discipline. But would you rather lose the weight, or would you rather end up on permanent medication, maybe losing a foot, as one of my relatives did because of diabetes, having to have your joints replaced?
Well, you raise a lot of very good points. Whether you've got a view on that or not, GBViews, gbnews.uk. We need to leave it there, sadly.
Oh, right, we can go and have a bacon butty now.
You can go and have a bacon butty now. Fill your boots, sod the diet. Good to see you both.
Cheers, David.
morning.
Thank you very much.